in Mbale, first of all, to popularize the code of conduct for political parties in Uganda. As you are very much aware, the Parliament of Uganda enacted a law that provides for how parties should behave during, before, during, and after elections. And that now act is what we are trying to popularize as NCF. And it is in the mandate of the National Consultative Council, a body that brings together all political parties in Uganda to do that work. Secondly, we are also here to try to have a dialogue with leaders in this region on how we are going to minimize violence during election time. We have appreciated in this meeting that this is a very big elephant in the room that has been in our politics for so many years. Since independence, violence has been part and parcel of our elections. And if we don't, make a concerted effort as stakeholders, it is likely to escalate and probably overpower us as a country. So we are here to try to knock heads, to try to generate ideas on how we can minimize it. Take, for example, can we accept that election is not a do or die? Can we accept that? Can we accept that leadership is service but not a job? Because once we appreciate that, then it will not be that if somebody was not elected or he was not, announced, then we must cause commotion and probably shed blood. So these are the issues that we are trying to generate solutions for, and this is just a beginning. We are going to move to all the other regions and do the same work that we are doing. Initially, recently, we convened as stakeholders, political parties, religious leaders, and civil society organizations, and signed a peace pledge where each one of us pledged, committed to ensure that we don't involve in violent activities during election time. So that pledge that we signed, we are also popularizing it to make it understood by the population. It is the very reason why we invited all the stakeholders here, the police, the religious leaders in this region, the political party leaders in this region, to be part of that peace pledge and also to be acquainted with what is in the peace pledge and what is in the code of conduct for political parties. As a country, there is that degeneration of leadership. The quality of leaders we have today are leaders who can allow to be led by the people they lead. That is a very, very dangerous aspect in our, society today. In the past, a leader used to be the person who guides those he leads, not to follow what the followers are saying. Today, we are dancing to the tune of the people we lead. I'm not saying that leaders should be dictators, but a leader is supposed to be in a better position to convince those people and guide the people he leads to a right direction.
I was talking about the economic reforms by the government. I think the foundation of all this that is coming now, what we are seeing, starts at the family level. All the cases that we have, all the crime that we are handling now, starts at the family level. As parents, we have slipped. All these things, now, for example, here in Mbale, we stay in Mbale. Mbale has the biggest number of street children here in the whole country. All these street children, no child who comes from Barara, there is no child who comes from Jinja, there is no, all these children are our children here in Mbale. And all these children, the ones we are seeing, are called Maungus, street children. But they are growing on a daily basis. They are going to be men. Actually, now we have street men. What are they doing? If they, and those people, all of them, they are vulnerable. Those people, they will want to be future husbands. They are going to be future wives. They are going to be future citizens. And me, Bakashaba, I come with my interests, political interests. I now take advantage of these vulnerable people. You see them, they sneeze fuel. You see them, those who are in bed, they see them. They see, you find a half-mad person moving. For you think you are driving towards a normal person who will give away to the vehicle. But instead, it is the vehicle which has to give away to this person. Otherwise, you will knock a dead person who is moving. So, the problem starts at the family level. We may talk about the brutality of the police, we may talk about the brutality of the political parties, but the problem is at a family level. We are all here. The wife is working, the husband is working, the maid is the one taking care of the children at home. Me, I spend 3 weeks before I go home, or a month before I go home. My wife is working somewhere. She takes 2 weeks before she goes home. Who takes care of the children? So why we have a generation which has values which don't belong to either the parents or the nation as a country. Our children actually follow they have the behaviors of TikTokers and social media people. Because that's where they get their influence. That's where the role models are, on TikTok. Now, my senior citizen was talking about economic reforms and unemployment. Yes, unemployment is there because children no longer die. These people here on the street. If the other diseases were still there, these children would be dead now. But none of them is going to die. They are surviving because the country is peaceful, because everybody can do what they want. Let me tell you, number one thing which is killing this country and which is going to be a problem, a lot of freedom is also bad. Unwanted freedom. When we were young, all of us, we are old people here, our parents used to beat you so that they can instill sense in a child. Even the Bible talks about it. Spare the rod and spoil a child. But these days, you touch, and when a child was growing up, it used to be a community responsibility, collective responsibility of every parent in the community. Because your uncle, a neighbor can punish your child. But these days, you touch on someone's child, police direct. I want compensation. Are you getting me? That's where the child. Yes, you may condemn police, but where does police come from? Where do we come from? Don't we come from you? We were doing recruitment. Afande is here. He has taken all the applications to the headquarters. All these children come from here. We are you. You are us. But anyway, you have come with stones. Madam was saying about it in the elections of God. We are now peaceful. But wait in May. Wait in May. People, their eyes are now open. All of you, you see, a journalist, the other journalist was saying they cross when the opposition goes. The problem is that even the people who would be neutral are no longer neutral. You find a journalist who is openly campaigning for a political party or a political leader. Before you choose us in security, what have you done as a parent, number one, as a citizen, and as an individual? We have told you, please, you pass here, because we are there to guide. The other day, Bob Wine came here, those who were here. I tell him, please, don't pass in the garage. You know what is in the garage. Don't go to the market. This is the man who moves. He was with my brother, Fazal. I was with him. He passes after failing to get attention, he goes to the market now. To get him out of the market, all those borders around Bank of Uganda market, He was telling me that, yesterday I increased your salary. Don't talk about me. Yes, you increased my salary. Thank you, but I'm telling you, don't go here. You have come with stones. I have a gun. If you throw a stone at me, should I also shoot you? Should I pick a stone and throw it to you? Or should I run away? So, as citizens, as parents, as individuals, let us take the responsibility of developing this country together. I know all these radio stations, those who are saying that they close the radio station, most of every MP, every politician, number one tool they use is number one to construct a radio station. They have, but what you see, those who were here during 2007 Kayunga riots, when they closed the CBS, a politician going on the radio and say, whoever has it, I need a Jambia, I need Nkumbi, Akwate. 1994, during the genocide of Rwanda. That's how it started. How do these guys come up? It's because of starting these small militia groups. And at the end of the day, you will not manage them. Kenya, recently, my brother was talking about transition of power, that Kenya has had transition of power, which we have not had. Yes. But can you proudly associate yourself with Kenya? Have we had such a violence in this country, like the one which was in Kenya? Have we had it? The one of genocide? But we can have it if we don't control. For us in security, we have what we know, which you people don't know. And we can't tell you. We operate on intelligence services. The one who started those riots in Kenya had a good idea maybe. But the problem when we ask you okay, because they start as demonstrators, peaceful demonstrators. How many demonstrators do you have? The one who is reading doesn't know. Where are they going to pass? How many male do you have? How many female do you have? What? Because we need that plan. We have to protect you. Then when we tell you now, let us not pass the garage, because as you move, Maungus are joining you. You go to the public street now, they are joining you. You pass the garage, they are joining you. At the end of the day, you cannot manage it. By the time security comes in, the road is on fire, the petrol station is on fire, and someone who has interest in investing in Bari has seen that. Do you know how many tourists cancelled their flights when they heard that Kenya was on fire? Do you know that now Congo, our neighbors, South Sudan, now as we speak, His Excellency has gone there. All those people, their peace negotiations take place from Kampala here, even in Somalia. Do you know? Do you know that you can move from Mbari, from Buku up to Kisoro without anyone stopping you? Night or day? Do you see that? Then another thing, as political players, let us avoid this language of inciting the public against you as security institutions. Don't. Because if you get a problem, where will you go? You will come to us. Police is bad. Police is brutalizing people. If you don't start it, are we going to come? Have you ever had, because you have rallies within the calling people, we have campaigns, have we ever seen us in public coming there? That whoever has a case, you come to police, we are registering cases. Have you ever heard of us? These doctors are calling sick people to go for medical camps. We don't. It's you who find us in our homes peacefully at the station and you bring cases. The man who has killed the wife wants to contest. Do you remember that MP who killed the wife in Mukono? He was an MP. The man who separated with the husband with 6 children, he wants to contest. All those children who have suffered domestic violence of the parents, they will want to be future leaders. So, with all those many words, my fellow citizens and countrymen, I pledge that we will provide peace. We will protect you. That one is guaranteed. But as individuals, let us also work together at the family level, at the national level, and at an individual level. God bless you.
Because for us, we know that the reason why they take you is to give you that training that can enable you work professionally. But what you will see, hundreds of young people are in prisons. Others have not seen any court for years, for 4 years. And now when they react, then you say these are goons, these are what, these are what. I'm not supporting whatever they are doing, but I'm just asking, what do you think would be the reaction after young people have been tortured, have been left in prisons, languishing in prisons, others are dumped while they are dead? Whom should we blame?
Just an additional and a quick one. As you are seated, you have a tag which has your name. Equal Afando team does so. But when you are going to arrest, you are beating, you are putting on hoods. How does a common person identify you in such a situation? Thank you.
No, first wait, Mr. Mrokozi.
And you were rescued by the military police. And one of our elders here said, violence reap violence. Sometimes we get to areas as police or military when we are called. And when you're calling us, you cannot handle that situation now. We are human. I would want us to together condemn radicalization. Like we said, and we believe and walk by that. That if we all condemn these acts of impunity, then let us be there to document. But when you get together, I am happy with you. We are not saying it is all the police that was mentioned among the kind of perpetrators, violent perpetrators, the violent people. You talked about political parties. You talked about candidates. You talked about the supporters. How do we together create a peaceful environment that we all desire to be? Because whatever you start and it goes violent, your children, your grandchildren, your grandparents, we are all there. So, a lot that we have learned. One, there are proposals that we came up with, but I would say we left them hanging. These proposals, to some of us, the peace brokers, you may see us as violent people, but we are peace brokers, and I'm one of them. There are proposals that we have raised, and we have left them, I can say, hanging. Whom are we tasking to form the regional consultative committee? Whom are we tasking to form the tribunals that would help us dialogue? Whom are we tasking? We need to know, because to me, this helps me, the person who is down here. You will be going back to your head offices. For us, we are down here with these local people. The disputes that comes, we need to handle them at our local level. And when we talk about this regional committee,
I have listened. Just speaking from what the officer said, you have very good ideas for the country, for the people, especially the young population, now that over 70% are young people. I don't know what plans you have, like he said, that you are leaving a regional team which can go to all these areas, schools and where and where and where. because I'm only seeing you today, because tomorrow there's a roadmap for general elections. But the messages you have require a continuous process so that people know they own their country, they belong to their country. Another young people, the RDCs and chairman NRM, to prepare, to make them prepare for the elections. No, I was there as chairman of NRM of Manafa. I liked one of the members who said that Nali, by the way, UPC, Nali was there before NRM. So it is not a property of NRM. It's now a property of government. And when you sit like this, they should. But when I look at the way things are moving, at over 70 years, I get worried what is going to happen tomorrow. The young men and ladies are coming to power. The speed. Somebody comes to power without a manifesto, without an agenda, but I won't be a chairman of LC5. And you find 5 years are gone. So the messages you have should not just be preparing the parties which are coming for elections or the violence we are talking about. We need to take messages to our Ugandans. We need to prepare leaders at all levels. I am sure all these parties who are here, when I look at the part of NRM, my brother is there. You only see young graduates who are becoming members of parliament. And when you look at them in the way they debate, you find they are lacking something. You see, when you are a leader and when you are on the floor, automatically the other person or the other party will attack you. And if you don't have stamina, and if you are not prepared with material, say you want to fight, you want to quarrel. So members, as Ugandans, we have to prepare Ugandans to lead their country. Otherwise, if we only go...
It is very true. All of that is very true. We have an executive president who more or less is like a semi-god in the country. But one thing we should know as a country, that we are not going to change everything in one day or in 1 month. We are going to have to create those changes as a process. As a process. This is a country, this is a nation. A nation over stays the life of the individuals. So if we don't achieve it today, this is a nation. It will achieve it. The lifespan of a country is not as that of a human being. So today we know the president wields a lot of powers. Sometimes he uses them the way he wants, but that is something we must appreciate. Once we appreciate it, we shall now find a way of gradually, selling or, spreading that information to the population. And at one point in time, even that shall change. For me, I'm very positive. I'm very sure that it is just a matter of time. All of this shall change once we are consistent, once we are persistent.
Child. There are factors that we should address, social and economic. And when we talk about that, the only person who has the capacity to transform and create this or make this happen is the person who receives our taxes. Yes, we have a big role, we play it, but to some extent we need support. That's why we say, even the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda says, the responsibility of educating a child shall be government and the parents. Mr. Chairman, the second point I wanted to, people don't simply wake up and be violent. In Kenya, the citizens of Kenya, we are reacting to a stolen election, broad-day stealing of an election. Raila Odinga had won the election. They stole it from him. So what would the Kenyans do? So these are some of the issues that we must really look at deeply, not on the surface. And you cannot prevent Ugandans from going violent. Tomorrow, we are sitting here today, tomorrow it might be a different case. And they tell you, you can't cross Kumi. Tororo here, it is difficult. And it has never been there. We had a rebel group here in Tororo. You could not cross from here to Tororo. You could not cross from Bale to Sironko. And so we say, why is it so? And how can we address it other than saying, don't do this because we might be like Algeria. We might be like, in Libya. Like you see what happened in Sudan. These are dictators who suppress society, and the society reaches a certain level and it blows. It blows up. Action and reaction are equal and opposite. See what has been happening in Syria. The president had to leave. It was too much for him. So, thank you so much, Mr. Chairman, but I wanted to make that clarification.
The National Consultative Forum in the law is mandated to mediate amongst parties and their supporters before, during, and after elections. Mediation is one way of solving conflicts. Mediation is one way of avoiding conflicts. Once you avoid conflicts, then you have avoided violence. That is the main duty of NCF. Now, it also has a mandate of creating awareness about the code of conduct. Code of conduct talks about how parties should behave before, during, and after elections. Again, once the parties and the party leaders are aware about how they are supposed to conduct themselves as per the law, then again, it is one way of minimizing violence in the population. But we have suggested that we are going to have a committee or committees of National Consultative Forum at a regional level. We are proposing to have tribunals during election time at every level, so that whenever something emerges, something to do with the violence, some to do with some conflicts during election time, once you have a committee at district level, at the constituency level, of leaders, opinion leaders, and political party leaders at that level, they can call those parties involved to order, or they can bring them on one table and resolve that matter at that level without necessarily going to police, without necessarily calling coercive forces.
I want you to take it to the lowest level. This message has on the core the peace, violent, free and fair elections, peace, pledge, and all that has to start with you. All right? So representation here, I know we have security, we have political parties, we have media. All of you are in the code of conduct. All right? You are actors in the code of conduct. So you help implement the code of conduct. Other representatives here, the cultural leaders, religious leaders, you deal with communities. So you're also a voice that can preach peace for purposes of our implementing the code of conduct. The invitation here has been selected given your role in society. So don't take this for granted. So the dissemination of this information, we believe, will get to the lowest level. Through your leadership, the NCF can avail additional literature when required, especially these, and then the code of conduct.
bisimillahi tandise n'erinnya lya Allah nga njogera kuw'ekitiibwa Muhammad oyo yekka Allah gwe yasukkulumya ku bitonde byonna. Muhammad Allah yamuwa mannya ge n'amuyita Raufur Rahim, bwe yamusalira mu bungi n'okumwagala ennyo awangula. Huwa babullahi yurja man yahumul baba yunja huwa khairun nasi nahja walahu sadrul muhalla. النبي سلام عليه الرسول سلام عليه الحبيب سلام عليه صلوات الله عليه. ono ye nuru ya Allah okumacha buli lwevayo ebibadde bizito bifuuke byangu. Qibla Islamic Media, Qibla Islamic Media.
Njagala Rolex mpaayemu naawe mpaayemu.
Tuli energy tukuletedde gas omulungi osika kipusi chapati mberenge oba oli wa hotel usange ekyengera opposite ku lukadde ku Masaka Road. Essimu 0753915994 oba 0756331354. Save Tuli energy is your answer.
Qibla Islamic Media, Qibla Islamic Media.